Hiya, it's Xavier and welcome to my bonsai retreat. I'm back from Orkney. I've also had me toe-op done, but more about that later. But first, let's scoot back up to Stronsay and have a little look at how I collected some of these and what I thought was the most important feature about collecting rocks for bonsai.
Hiya, it's Xavier. And you know where I am. I'm in Stronsay, hidden behind this shelter of rocks because it is howling a gale. And hopefully you can't hear too much of that on this great camera recording equipment. We've got this Roots on Rock project, but I had a look in the current rocks that I had, and do you know what? Couldn't find any, so skipped on a plane, skipped on a train. Yeah, no, I didn't. But come on. Let's see what I did find, because there's a few key characteristics that we really need if we want a good root on rock rock. Let's see if we can find one, shall we? So really, I just need to find the right sort of rock. Just need to find something that's got a little bit of crevicing and edging. Can't see them, but I've got the seals all following me along the side there. But it's a beautiful day. I've got 2 days to go left here in sunny Stronsay. We may not actually make it back because there's supposed to be gales tomorrow and all the ferries could be cancelled. So that'd be interesting. But anyway, join me as I find some more rocks for this Root on Rock project we're about to work on in a few months' time, if that makes sense. Well, there go the duck. But I found my first example of a potential rock, and we've got this one here. As you see, absolutely beautiful, beautiful crevice or hollow where we can put the tree. Only one small problem. Oh my goodness me, that's heavy. Not sure. So I think we'll leave that one behind. If we've got something, this great big thing here, it's great, apart from the size of the pot you're going to need. It needs to be able to attach roots or some way to hold that plant in so that it actually looks natural. And I think that's the other thing I meant to say. We want them to look natural. If any of you watch my bonsai, you know the one thing they never look is natural. They look more thrown together, don't they? Anyway, let's go. And then get something like this, which has got lots of interesting shapes. Certainly in a young plant, really wrap it around and really hold it there. You've got little crevices in there. And imagine part of that out of the soil. That could be really quite interesting. And I may well take that one back. You know, I think the problem we've got to face there is it's not going to give you that classic grip you want. But certainly, I've done this with a few, is that if I wrap it in cling film, young roots, it will, 2-3 years, I think you could have a really good root and rock from it. So, yeah, that'll come back in the goodie bag. But it's not the ideal one I'm looking for. Bit of a pain now, having to work your way through all this seaweed. Just never know what you're going to find. Also, oh, look. Roots on pipe. Now that could work well. Just need to find a big enough pot. Amazing what you find dragged up on the Scottish Highland coasts. Well, Orkney Highland coasts. We've got some lovely, lovely golden sands. You can just hop in there for a quick swim. And as you know before, I'm not too scared. There's the odd iceberg, maybe the odd shark, but you know what? Keep your socks on, it'll be fine. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's been 3 hours looking for rocks, but I have found my little seal there, and he's literally about 25 feet from me. There's a few of them there. I'm not sure how good the quality of this will be on my little phone. He's coming in a little bit closer. He wants to have a little look, see what I'm doing. But I just wish I had the other camera. I would have been...
Right. Calm down, calm down. Seals are fantastic, but really what's going to be even better than this, and probably more related to bonsais, because let's be honest, you want to see some trees, is I've got a backlog of photographs that have been sent to me by people over the last 5 or 6 weeks, which I think you want to see. So let's zip on over to Subscribers Corner, shall we? So the first one is from Kiwi Bonsai, and he sent through his Miro, which is it's like a U, but it's actually related to a podocarpus, or otherwise known as the Buddha's pine, and it's showing it through the different stages of him taking it from a sapling right through to some trunk chops, and then showing the sort of back budding you get afterwards. Quite incredible. Then we've got Trevor, aka the Greasy Limpet. He's got his beautiful Trident repotted and then in full leaf. Absolutely incredible. I'd love to have something like that. And then one of my regulars, Martina, she's got her silver birch. Absolutely fantastic looking. David, he sent a couple of pictures of his Yamadori elm, early stages, but that's going to be magnificent too. And Glory Jean, she's sent through some pictures of a Cascade juniper, a collected sugar maple, ficus before and after, and then Fukian tea, which I can't keep alive, again before and after. Then Timothy, who's sent through his pictures of his Ginkgo biloba, and apologies for my continual Balboa joke, but lovely trees. Then Trevor, he sent through his Picea and how it looks at Christmas. And finally, Andy sent me through a great selection of trees, of which I've only included a few, but the best bit is he did an attempt, very good attempt, at recreating Tony's silver birch clump, which you saw me do in a video, and he's done it from honeysuckle, but you'll see more of that in a separate video, I think. Okay, so that's the latest set of pictures that have come through, and big thanks, and hopefully we'll get a load more, even some in video would be even better. But now let's go back to Stronsay, and in fact let's fade into some really nice black sort of, I don't know whether they're cormorants or maybe you can tell me, but certainly swanning and showing themselves off on the rocks to the seals there, probably saying, nah, can't catch me. I bet they're not saying that actually. But anyway, any bird spotters out there, let me know what they are down below in the comments. And now this seal, lovely sort of probably white head, was following me all the way round and really was a constant companion. It's just amazing how friendly and how curious the seals are up on Stronsay. But enough of that, let's get back to some rock, shall we?
Well, I think I've got beaten. For a start, tides come in a lot quicker than I thought, so I'm not going to really get around the final headland. Showed them a bit, but the bay's a beautiful carve. Rocks-wise, here's a bit of a blood. I mean, I think a year or two before, as I said earlier, I've had some good success. I mean, there's something like this, which is really nice and cracked, and you know I like to sort of have those resting on top. But really, it hasn't got the crevices or cracks that I need to lay roots inside it. So, yeah. So from Stronsay, I have to say, I've spent probably 7-8 hours combing the rocks over the last 3 days, and yeah, I failed miserably. I keep going on about Stronsay Rock, and I think I must have got them all the last few times I was here. Well, that's a blasted pain, isn't it? There was me, I was about to say goodbye to you from Stronsay, and it looks like I'm going to be stuck here for at least another 8 hours until the tide comes fully in and goes back out again, because that's my way round the headland. So, unless one of you's got access to a helicopter, yours truly is stuck here until, I don't know, till tomorrow. At least I've got some rocks. I just now need to find something to eat. If I can get one of those seals to come in closer. That used to work back in the 1800s, didn't it? So, from Xavier, having got himself in a right pickle on Stronsay, I'll say thanks very much, happy bonsaiing. Thankfully, you probably won't ever have to see me again. For, well, a little bit of mountain climbing and a bit of a scratched coat. I've made it. So luckily, there will be more videos from Xavier. Absolutely gorgeous. This is what I come for. Total utter isolation. That little promontory there, absolutely miles. It doesn't look far, but it took me 5 hours, and I still didn't make it. I must be getting old. And this is probably on the calmest it ever is. Whitehall. Lovely little bay. The ferry comes in up there. But yeah, howling gales tomorrow. I'm waiting to see if I get the crossing or not. I could be trapped here.
Okay, well, to be fair, what you didn't pick up there was the wind and the wave noise was incredible. I actually ran it through a whole load of filters and it's come out pretty good. But I had to cut some of the collecting scenes because I got the camera up the wrong way around and it went all vertical on me. No one likes going vertical on me. I went full vertical. Is that full retard? One of those. I don't know what film that's from actually. Now, as you can see, there's an absolute wide range here. And when I'm looking at rocks, I'm looking for textures, colours, interesting crags and cracks and crevices and crannies and nooks. All those sort of things are going to draw the eye away from the absolutely abysmal bonsai I'm probably trying to create. And you've seen me use these to that effect many times before. And I think hopefully one thing you did pick up, and I talked about it on the video, was this rock here. Sort of 1 to 2, 3 millimeter fissures down here, which I'll actually open up a little bit with a chisel, so I can get roots down here. And perhaps looking at setting something up on these, or in that crevice there, could have it upright. You imagine that sitting in the soil like this, and then you put the young tree on top of it. In fact, I'm not sure whether that's the one that Jonas wanted, but that's the sort of thing that's ideal. Again, if you look at this grey one, lovely texture. Again, it's got the grooves that I need, and here there's a bit of depth, so that's going to be ideal for me for a root on rock. But then I've also got ones that aren't so much based on that. They've got just lovely, interesting colours, which will place nicely on top. Or you've got this sort of slate, and you've got a form like this. You could quite easily set a tree there, and sometimes if you've got a good variety, then you can always find one where the roots set just nicely. I've got this one, which was smashed from part of a rock, but you can imagine you could set a tree underneath, the roots underneath, and then growing up either side. So lots of things. We've got something like this, quite unusual, but again, if you bury it, and then you have the tree coming through here. But I think for me, definitely, says peering down his glasses or down his nose, the ones that I was looking for, I did find one or two. I'll show you one of them now. Got this great big, I mean, it can be used either way, it's just a rock on top. But here, I don't know if you can see down here, there's really quite a sharp crevice down there. So it can be buried to this sort of point and get something on there. Not ideal, or you could just have it this way and actually put the tree on there. So there's that. This one found definitely at low tide, and it's got this brilliant here V crevice there, so you can imagine you can sit your tree up on there and then let the roots come down. So that's brilliant. And then this one's just interesting, not really suited really to put root on rock, but like many of these, you could probably imagine something like this as looking great as part of a forest landscape or something. You either have it upright or however, but the key I always find with looking for rocks is avoid smoothness. Initially when I started, I used to get these really nice colourful ones, but they were smooth, and they just, for me, didn't sit right. So I always like to have something that's got interest in it. It's amazing when all you see is my mouth. Mind you, most people prefer not to see or hear my mouth, but just my blue eyes. Okay, well, hopefully you've got a little bit of rock knowledge from my little foray up north, and certainly you're going to be seeing some of those when I do the Root on Rock project next year, and you'll probably see them in a few other people's videos, certainly Jonas if he does something with his rock. But now for a bit of a sad announcement. In a moment I'm going to be flashing to my foot, and I had the op done a couple of days ago, and unfortunately it's continued to bleed. And without going into too much gory detail, I'm just waiting for the next available nurse, which happened to be 3 days later, to redo the dressings. So the foot is pretty nasty in terms of how it looks, and I've definitely got to stay inside. In fact, the only reason I'm filming this is because the kids have gone off to mass and it was sunny, and my dedication to yourselves, I felt I had to get this intro and bits and pieces done. But needless to say, for the next 14 days my foot is going to be up. So things like plans for doing the pruning on the Trident Maples, and you can see this, the leaves have all gone this yellow, and as soon as they've gone this yellow colour, you've now got certainly 2-week period to do some quite good pruning, some decent pruning, and looking at the lines that you want for next year. And that was my intention. It's not looking like I'm going to get to, which means there's also going to be a gap in filming, and I just haven't got anything to fill it. I mean, even with this one, it's dropped all its leaves, and this tree is now firmly on its way to getting itself set up for the winter hardiness. So all the juices and stuff are being taken back downstairs, which is why if you do pruning too late, it doesn't have the opportunity to do what they call compartmentalisation. Women compartmentalise really well. They can do lots of things in different boxes and stuff, but I can't. But yeah, and the longer we leave any pruning on this, like now I wouldn't, basically you'll just be left with an open wound, because all the healing stuff is down there, sort of anyway. And the same is going to be true of the Dawn Redwood. Now the good thing about the Dawn Redwood is I've done autumnal pruning, but I've also waited until the spring and done it in the spring. So these are starting to show yellow. The fronds aren't dropping yet, so I may still find that in sort of 10 days time I might be able to do a little bit of work on them. But as I say, it does mean I'm sure there's definitely going to be a break in some of the videos I upload. I may only be able to do 1 a week, possibly 2. Or you might see some stuff from older material, which you haven't seen. It's really interesting, but it's not what I really hoped. But hey, that's what happens when you've got something wrong with your big toe. And for those of you who don't remember, let's have a look now, shall we? Yeah, fading in nicely. Obviously, they took the big nail off, and this has just bled all the way down. This dressing is sodden. It's been like this for 2 days, and I've got to get this changed. It'll be tomorrow. So, hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you didn't cough up your Weetabix. Well, if that hasn't put you off my channel, only my trees can do better. So, from Xavier, looking forward to continuing this bonsai journey with you. Thank you for all the time and effort you take watching, commenting, liking, and sharing. And I've noticed a few people are sharing. I really, really do appreciate that. Continue to support me, because I like that warm fuzzy feeling, and I think there's going to be some videos that are already queued up after this. But so from Xavier in his bonsai retreat, shortly about to be forced back indoors as the kids come home. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Happy bonsai and God bless. Cheers. And the Japanese white pine is actually loving the way it's been styled. Never looked healthier.